What's, what's up, guys? Welcome to Fourth and Average. I'm your host, Chris. I'm here with Prevo. Go ahead, introduce yourself, Prevo.
What's up? I'm Prevo, new to the channel, but here to stay, here to give you the best sports picks and the best unsolicited advice you've ever gotten.
There we go. There we go. Appreciate it, man. And go ahead, Cody.
Cody, I can guarantee you Prevo is right on the first one. The second one, I am not so sure about. So that with your own discretion.
Go Saints!
No, no, we're not
Saints
doing
all the way,
that.
2026, baby.
No, that's not happening. That's not
No.
happening. So we're recording what just happened. The college football playoff championship between Ohio State, Notre Dame just ended. I was thinking we could go ahead and just go around the horn, immediate reactions. Right. I mean, I feel like it's plain as day. That's what we all expected to happen. I mean, you
Yeah.
saw Notre Dame kind of wake up finally at the end, but I mean, you can maybe attribute that to just Ohio State kind of, foot off the gas. They're like, there's no way they can get back into it. I don't know. What are y'all's immediate reactions there?
I love what I saw, to be honest, especially in the first half. I was a big Ohio State -8 uh, better today. Put it all in my Discord. We might plug that in the future. We'll see how it goes. But I will say if the Bulls get plus 12.5, we have a full sweep. Anyway.
All right, all right.
I was scared, very scared when I saw the first 9-minute drive. When I saw the
Wild
quarterback,
drive.
remind me of his name,
Riley Leonard. Yep.
Riley Leonard, run like Derrick Henry all over the defense. That was scary, and I'm glad they stopped that very, very quickly.
There you go.
Yeah, to be fair, I wasn't able to catch much of the first half. I was working at my other job, but from what I saw in the second half, as Chris had alluded to, Notre Dame did start to make a comeback in the second half. A lot of it was, I would say, due to chunk plays like that throw to Jaden Greathouse, which one that was a fantastic catch.
Absolutely.
It was an amazing catch by him, even with the PI. But also, it was more Ohio State mistakes than I feel like Notre Dame capitalizing on the opportunities.
Yeah,
like they had the two pass interference calls on the side that those immediately got them back into the next drive.
Which credit to Notre Dame on that point. They took advantage of it. If they were really, I feel like if they were the team that lost the NIU, I don't think they take those chances as far as like, hey, we're giving you a free opportunity. They're not going to capitalize. I think throughout the playoff, they showed that they deserve to be there. They won the games to get to the championship, and I'm not mad at the final score. I think everyone kind of knew coming in Ohio State was kind of revved up and ready. So
I think also. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, just join a conference.
the thing is, though, no, they never will, especially with the new format.
Oh,
think
yeah.
about how much. Think about how much money they just. Yeah, they don't share money. Like what Boise State? What 25 million for Penn State or something like that, and 25 million for Notre Dame for getting to the semifinals.
They would have gotten every single dollar. If you are in a conference, it gets then divided up between all the schools in the conference.
Yeah, but like make them do it.
They get to generate all that money for their school themselves.
Which
they never will.
I don't even think that's right. Like it shouldn't even be their choice, though, is what I'm saying. Like it should. I don't even think it should be Notre Dame.
I can see that. Yeah. That's
fair. I mean, that's a long argument that I think
that's like monopoly.
We should dive into that.
For another day. That's not.
I was about to say because that's actually a really interesting take that you're not alone in, and I'd like to kind of dig deeper, to be honest. But I don't know. That's just the immediate reactions. I really have nothing else. I mean, Ohio State. I mean, they were going to win. They won. They're great.
I will say
$20 million roster.
I don't think we're at this point with Ohio State if they didn't lose to Michigan. I think that game genuinely lit a fire under Ryan Day's ass because I think he realized that if he did not make it this far, he was going to potentially lose his job.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. But, it kind of still gives ammunition to Michigan fans considering they're like, oh, well, we beat them. They're not like we just had a couple mistakes not go our way.
It's like a UCF national championship type thing.
Basically,
where it's like, we're the reason you got here, buddy. Okay, calm down.
Right,
exactly. Fans are in agony, bro.
Yeah, exactly. But speaking of
Barstool for
Speaking
the
of, speaking of fans in agony, though, do we want to start? I mean, with the biggest, I think, question mark, which was the Detroit Washington game for the weekend, as far as the playoffs go for the NFL. I
Yeah,
mean,
very
go ahead,
surprising
Prebo.
outcome. I think that was very surprising. And as a big Lions -8 better, I was very upset with the outcome. So that gets a big doom from me. I was a little underwhelmed with Jared Goff, but I was also very impressed with Terry Bridgewater. I thought that was sick.
That was a cool play. Yeah.
Laporta with a
Uh,
crazy catch, all for
yeah,
one.
The former
he did
high
a great
school
job.
football coach turned NFL quarterback.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Commanders defense actually kind of showed up because and you got to also think they for some reason would keep taking out Jameer Gibbs and not let him keep. I mean, they could not stop him. I mean, he was
Oh,
averaging well over 5, 6 yards a carry. I
And
mean, he was
receiving.
dicing them up, and then they put in Montgomery just because he came back, and he would pick up barely every 2 yards.
it felt like those are kind of like courtesy touches for like what he did throughout the year. Like
Yep.
Yeah,
if
but
they played how they should have played, because this is how Detroit has done it all throughout the year, where it's been they just go drive by drive. They alternate the running backs usually.
But does that make you question Ben Johnson and Dan Campbell's decision making on that? Because you're in a divisional round with the number 1 seed with Super Bowl expectations. Now's not the time for courtesy. Like
Yeah,
now you're like you have to look at what's going on in the game in your face at the moment and say Jameer Gibbs cannot be stopped right now. And
yeah.
I mean, that's not me saying Dan Campbell's a terrible coach or anything like that. I'm just saying like we got to kind of probably get somebody in the building that can maybe filter it out a little bit from
Yeah.
Dan. You know what I'm
Plus,
saying? Like
also, I don't even know if it's been mentioned yet, but Ben Johnson today hired by the Chicago
Yep,
Bears,
by the Bears. Yep,
brand new
which
head coach, pairing him with Caleb Williams. That's going to be an interesting project, I feel like, going forward. If he's able to get Caleb to play more in structure, because I feel like that was a big part of Detroit's offense, was even though things would be very free flowing, there was a structure to it. There was a lot of timing. There was a lot of movement that was very intricate. Will that also be applied with Caleb going forward?
right, and I feel like they probably need a little bit of a locker room guy too. And I wonder if Ben Johnson can be that guy, or at least mimic maybe what he's seen from Dan Campbell the last couple years as far as that type of guy. Because I mean, just from the looks of it, from the reports and the on the field body language, by DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, some of these other guys, on that offense, Caleb Williams, it was very negative, very not in it. You could tell there was probably some locker room issues going on that was leaking out onto the field.
Yeah.
So it's good. I think Ben Johnson's really going to open it up for Caleb Williams, but I think there's still some underlying issues that this isn't going to kind of go away just overnight by hiring him, which, I mean, that's typical of a new head coach hire, but.
Yeah, dude, locker room guys definitely needed. I definitely see what you mean. They do feel very independent. And even it's evident like in the box score, you either have a Keenan Allen game or you have DeAndre Swift game or just something. It's not or even Caleb Williams games every now and then, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like and then there's just nobody to help him out. So it just kind of very independent. There's no like if you look at the Packers, it's like if they're clobbering a team, everyone on the field is clobbering the team.
I think it's like all like whenever you have like the four little people like stacked on top of each other with a trench coat. It's like that. It's like they're all just working
Right.
together.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally. I mean, you can tell, and I don't know. I don't want to say this is it for the Lions because their roster really is very talented, especially when they get some very, very key defenders back. I mean, there was six, not including the ones that were hurt during that game, but six starters going into the game out on defense. I'm pretty sure if I'm correct, but
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I mean, it's Aaron Glenn's probably going to get hired. I mean, we're going to see a lot of coach hirings. Once one is hired, you start seeing the dominoes fall pretty fast. So
Yeah.
maybe they
Aaron
lose
Glenn might
both
be coming to the
coordinators.
Saints, but I'd rather him go to the Jets, to be honest with you.
I think he's a good fit for the Jets, to be honest. As far as that's
But
where
I
he
would
plays.
also rather have Aaron Glenn than Mike McCarthy. So it's kind of like,
I
Yeah.
also think potentially sneaky Liam Cohen, the Bucks OC, to the Raiders.
Mm,
well,
yeah, I could see that, especially with what he had to work with. He has a very aging roster on that defense.
That
Yeah,
and also Mark Davis can't spend any money for the
correct. Yeah,
Raiders.
so he'd probably be the cheapest
He's
hire.
going to go for the cheapest, best option, I feel like. And I think
Yeah.
that is going to be Liam Cohen.
Yep. Agreed. Um,
I mean,
but yeah,
unless he
any
wants to
other?
try and just splash the bag on Dion, but that's probably going to be Jerry.
Yeah, definitely,
yeah.
absolutely. But I don't know. Anything else on that game though? In specific, I think. I mean, it was just the Lions. You could tell were just injured. I think that's what it was. And then, I mean, and that's not taking anything away from Jaden Daniels. I mean, that man, he's the real deal.
Yeah.
Washington got their guy. I mean, he
Yeah.
did it with a number 15 ranked defense. All the other rookie quarterbacks that have ever gone to this level that he has gone to did it with a top three defense with them
And a
all.
doo-doo run defense on top of that, which is
That's what
like
I'm saying.
the
That's
teams
what
that
I'm
they
saying. Like
beat
he,
rely on the run and they've shut it down. Like
yeah,
how do you survive?
yeah. I
Have
think
you
he's
guys,
incredible.
have you all seen the article with Jaden Daniels in regards to VR and his
I
training
was
with
Yeah,
him?
reading about
yeah,
that today, dude. That's incredible.
yeah.
He
I
plays
feel
at
like it
what?
is something that is probably going to be implemented a lot more going forward, just
No,
based off
yeah.
seeing the immediate success that it has gotten with Jaden and this team, because that was a big part of his interview process with teams. Was this is something that I've been using. It is helping me develop as a player. You are able to process the game so much faster
Well, and
because of it.
that's and people that are probably against it. I was kind of thinking of this as like who would be against it because if this guy just won the Heisman based off that, that's all he changed in his training regimen. Yeah, we're gonna let him have that in the building, whatever he wants. But
Yeah.
I'm saying people who are against it are probably I can think of ways like you're not feeling the weight of your pads, the ball, or anything like that. But at the same time, if you already have the physical attributes that Jaden Daniels has, and a lot of these NFL caliber quarterbacks that go to the NFL, really all you're working on is the change in game speed. From college and NFL, it's a lot different. But this man's playing on, I think it was 1.75 times the game
Yeah.
speed, so
Right.
almost double speed, and that's what he has to work on. He has his arm is a cannon. He can run. I mean, just like Lamar, him and Lamar are the best two
They're neck and neck
running
now, in my
exactly.
opinion.
I mean, so he can do it all, just like Lamar can. So it's going to be interesting for the next couple of years. We might be seeing a budding hey, this is the new Eagles rival instead of the Cowboys trying to do it every year. I think we're going to see some Commanders now for the next.
And
No,
I feel like there will be a lot of people that will try and say, Chicago still potentially made the right. No, I'm sorry. Like, I feel like you can safely say at this point, even with the hiring of Ben Johnson, Jaden Daniels is just the better. This is the farthest that a top four draft pick has gotten in the past, I think, since the 21st century, if I'm not mistaken. The
well,
only other one I believe would be Ben Roethlisberger at number 3
Chris is
overall.
so excited to say what he's about to say.
well, no, dude. So I'm just thinking. I'm thinking devil's advocate right here.
Okay.
This is coming from a Panthers fan to a Panthers fan.
Oh God.
We've seen what happens when we give up on a guy really early. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look what Bryce is doing. I'm not a big Caleb Williams fan. I'm actually in the same boat. But if you're gonna take that hot of a take, I just hope you can. I just hope you can deal with the consequences, whether they're good or bad.
Dude, I
I'm
think
just
Caleb
saying.
Williams can be better than Bryce Young.
You think so? See, I don't think so. I think Bryce is. From what he's done in that turnaround, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. That's the off-season conversations when we get into each of our team's needs. I think that's going to be a good episode in the future as far as
A
really
lot of
breaking
needs
it
for
down.
all of us involved.
I say what we can have a purge episode, just any
Hot
and all
takes, get
takes
it out.
that
Just
just
get it
gut
out.
feeling.
I
We'll
love
get
that.
that. We'll get it.
Primo's like, can we do that next?
Just like write them down beforehand and then just yeah.
What else? What else we got? Which game y'all want to go to? Y'all want to go to? I think we saved the Buffalo and Baltimore game for
Yeah.
last. I think we go to the Eagles game right there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's just the Eagles game from that sheer
It's
dominance.
the Saquon game. Let's be honest.
Well,
Yeah,
Hand
Yeah.
up, I didn't get to see much of the Eagles game. I was in the mall watching a movie. So
Next,
Nice.
what movie? What
yeah.
movie?
Yeah, I was gonna say what movie.
Den of Thieves too.
Why is that?
That's the first
I
one.
don't think I saw the first one, so yeah, I have no clue
Yeah,
what you're
I
talking
think it
about.
came out in
Cool.
like 2018, but is
Okay.
ball. Is ball.
Okay,
Nice.
good. We can do a movie review also on a later episode. I think it's great. So anyway, um, yeah, like Cody said, I mean, I think Philly walks through the Super Bowl if they keep handing the ball to Saquon. Now you got to think Sirianni with having more hands on the reins now. I think sometimes you're going to see them try to get back into the pass game. I think that's going to be a mistake. I think you literally run it on first, second, and then third, or choose to do a play
And
action.
fourth, sometimes if you're feeling
Literally, I'm
if you're
telling you.
feeling frisky.
Beer and
The
shoot.
only time they should be throwing the ball, I'm not even joking, the only time they should throw the ball is on play action.
I
That's
did
the
I
see
agree
only.
because if Jalen Hurts becomes a pure drop back passer, I'm sorry, it's not pretty to watch.
He had his moments, but he is not hitting his stride this year. Like that first year when they went to the Super Bowl, lost to the Chiefs, Jalen Hurts was legit. Like I thought he was going to turn into that guy where wow, this man can beat you from the pocket and beat you with his legs. But he just hasn't found that same MVP type level that he's able to lock into, and he certainly hasn't found it in the playoffs. Now maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he just goes nuclear, and maybe that's awesome. But I think the safest bet is to just keep doing what you've done all year to get to the number 2 seed and hand the ball to Saquon. That's all it is. So I don't know. I think they did a great job against the Rams. Rams kind of made a little comeback. They held it close. I mean, credit to the
Yeah.
Rams. I think Burst came to play, especially. I love that he came to play, especially in the link. He was the most disruptive player on that defense. Um, Other than that, though, you just can't stop Saquon in the end, and the Rams are a little old besides what they have on defense now. So it's kind of that offense couldn't really keep up. But that's my thoughts.
We'll see how that progresses going forward in the offseason with Matthew Stafford, his comments after the game.
Yeah,
We'll see. It's gonna be
yeah.
interesting for sure.
I think he still has it. I think he could do it one more time, but it's more of, I think a bigger question is Cooper Kupp. What does he do? Retirement? Do they cut him? Release? Do they trade
I
him?
don't see retirement as an option, really. I don't
Yeah,
see
I mean
that yet.
they can't cut him. That dead cap's going to be insane there. They would have to be a trade, I think, at this option. He
I
doesn't
would
want to retire.
be very interested to see like who teams would kind of put up with him in a trade though.
I I hope the
Um,
Panthers do not.
my first immediate thought, and this would suck as a Panthers fan,
Yep.
potentially Tampa Bay. I can see that being a
But
fit if they don't re-sign Chris Godwin due to the ACL injury.
Remember the Chiefs talk though.
I don't
Chiefs,
want to talk about that one. They already did their thing with D Hop. They chose their old wide receiver.
yeah, but like, dude, doo D Hop.
The
The Chiefs got money, man. The Chiefs got
That
money.
sounds like a dance from the 90s.
Dude.
Doo D Hop catching one pass for 49 yards a game, like woohoo.
Literally.
Dude,
I mean, we can
I'm
hop into that game too. I think
I was gonna
Let's
go
let's just go straight into that one, honestly.
worthy.
I feel bad for the Texans. I just feel bad for the Texans, dude. They played a great game.
Unworth it. Xavier
I'm
not
gonna I'm gonna credit Big Cat from part of my take. Y'all listen to him. I think he said it best to where I think if you're a Texans fan, you have the right to complain about the calls and everything and Pat Mahomes flopping, especially that one personal foul called where the
No, that's what
Texans
you're talking about.
exactly. Like I
There
think you have the
wasn't
right
one
to
that was egregious
complain.
at all.
Right. But at the end of the day, you guys made a lot of mistakes on special teams. Y'all had opportunities that you didn't capitalize on, kind of like what we were talking about with Notre Dame and Ohio State, where Notre Dame was taking the opportunities that they were given and they capitalized on it. They just didn't do it. The Texans couldn't do it. They kept it close just because of Joe Mixon. Really, I mean, they were down wide receivers, but I mean, at the end of the day, I think the Texans will always be there when you have Stroud. I mean, Stroud had, I feel like, a typical sophomore slump. I think we're going to get a better season out of him next year.
I hope so.
But the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and the Chiefs have Pat Mahomes. So I mean, I think the Bills are a little beat up too. So we'll see as far as that AFC Championship goes. So that's my thoughts on it. But
No, I believe if I remember correctly, I had saw this stat on Twitter where the stat line that the Texans had for that game, they were the first team ever to, I believe, outgame the opponent by 100 yards, win the turnover battle, and still lose the game. Everyone else in advance was, I believe, 0-40, 49.
yeah, it was. Yeah, they had. Yep, they were 49-0, and they were the one loss. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Like I said, I feel bad for the Texans, but I mean, voodoo magic, whatever is at stake for the Chiefs, and the refs are in on it. Whatever you can say, but they have Pat Mahomes. That kind of leads me to the Bills and Ravens. Um, I think we saw. I think we talked about this on the last pod, Cody, about Lamar. I think I
Yeah.
was calling it, and Cody thought I was losing my mind, but I said we might see actual playoff Lamar, not the one that everyone thinks is going to show up this year. But I don't know if you paid attention to our last episode or watched it prevo, but Cody had a strong take that this is Lamar's year. So go ahead, Cody. I'll let you start with this.
No, I know what you're talking about. No, I feel bad for honestly both quarterbacks. I don't really feel like either quarterback necessarily made their team win. It was more so both. I feel defenses actually came to play in this game, and the Buffalo Bills are just able to capitalize on more opportunities than the Ravens were. The Ravens turned the ball over too many times. You had the Mark Andrews fumble at the 50.
Does
You
Mark
had
Andrews go to the Bills next season?
Do
can't beat them,
what?
join them.
That's what it looks like. Mark
Can't beat
Andrews
them, join them,
going
my
to the
man.
Bills.
I mean, they're probably going to want him out of Baltimore. I mean, to do that, and as Cody was probably going to say, drop the pass to tie the game on the two wide open.
Potentially send it to overtime to give your team a chance to win.
I mean, there's no way how he doesn't catch that. I don't know. I
I'm
mean, I
catching
think
that.
that you're catching that.
I'm
Prevo's like,
catching
put me in,
that.
coach, put me in. But yeah, that was. I think both teams, ironically, I think where Cody was going with this, got their worst game out of the way. Like whichever team
For sure.
won that game, I think was going to go in and facing the Chiefs in a better situation, considering they're like, "Whew, that was a bad game. We survived. Let's get it right." I think that's a positive for the Bills. I think again, that game was everything I think I wanted it to be. I think what we talked about, Cody, is like just literally sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. But we came in expecting it was kind of like a plot twist. It was still a great movie. I enjoyed it, but instead of the typical plot where Lamar and Josh Allen go nuclear on each other and just it's a high scoring game, we saw, oh wow, both defenses which have kind of struggled to stay consistent all year came alive. That was a pleasant surprise. So I think it was still all it was kind of advertised to be. I think my biggest hot take now, though, is I think going in, if we're looking to the future of the next rounds, real quick, I'll start off with my hot take. I think Josh Allen and the Bills go nuclear. I think Pat Mahomes brings out the literal best in Josh Allen. I think he throws for over 300 yards for one of the few times he has this year. And I think he loses because this will be the first time the Chiefs go over 30 points this year, and the Chiefs go to the Super Bowl for a chance to three-peat. Because I think that
That
game
is not where I thought you were going with
oh,
that.
I know. They literally bring out the best in each other. Pat Mahomes
I
has
love it.
played pretty well down the stretch, and I think when you combine these two guys together that are both just trying to show off at a certain point, Pat Mahomes goes for 325 with three tutties, and they go for I would say 42 points, 42-38 final score.
Always going to be the bridesmaid. Never the bride.
Exactly. I don't know. What do y'all think for the AFC?
I hope not. I hope red, white, and blue does the damn job. I don't want to see this.
Disagree.
I don't want to see this Chiefs magic anymore.
I don't want to see Chiefs Eagles again. I'm sorry. Like even if it is the possibility of it being, a high volume offensive game because you have Saquon on one side, you have Mahomes and Kelsey on the other. We've seen it. I
Dude,
want
I want to
something
see
new
Bills
personally.
Eagles so bad.
My dream is Bills Commanders.
That's my dream too, to be completely honest. I don't want to see Eagles in there either. I think to be honest, it kind
It
of
would just be something special for Josh to be in his first one and Jaden as a rookie to bring his team there.
yeah, yeah. But the Bills would have to win. I mean, obviously, like
Yeah,
come on,
like Jaden will have his chance.
exactly.
He'll have his chance.
We got, yeah. So I don't know, Primo, what do you think? You're hoping Bills and
I mean, I
Cody's
think Bills Eagles would be sick just because like the
the two best fan bases. Is that
yeah,
what you're
there's gonna
kind of
be
going
brawls in the stands, but
with?
I also think that the Eagles would put like if I had to make a spread for the game, it'd be like -4.5 Eagles. Like I just think Eagles would like beat them down, to be honest.
Interesting.
-4.5 doesn't sound like a beat down, but
So okay,
I,
so
I I feel like it would probably be like -3.5, maybe.
well, so we're just counting out the Commanders, kind of like we did with the Lions. Is that what we're doing? So we're just immediately
well,
are
no,
we
no.
putting the
I'm just
Eagles in
saying
there?
like I if
A
it was the
hypothetical
game, then I
line.
would too.
Okay, because to be honest, if I would pick the Commanders. I mean, if Jaden Daniels plays like he did, plus Kenyon Mitchell, I haven't looked at recent news, but him with his injury, what's going on there? So that's already down a man. I mean, of course, Eagles, they do credit them. They have the depth to kind of make up for it, but it's hard replacing a caliber player like Kenyon. Um, I just think if we see that same Jaden Daniels that we've seen, Eagles might be in trouble. And I think it's a division rival. Both teams, that game is going to be just as fun,
Yeah, I agree. I do agree
just
with
as
that.
fun as the Chiefs Bills. So I think we got a great weekend coming up.
Yeah.
For sure.
Anything else though?
Dude, I gotta keep reminding myself that Commanders fans are just Redskins fans. Like I kind of counted them out, and I didn't really think of like them having a fan base. And
Yeah,
then
no, they have I mean, they're a historic fan base.
right.
Like they
For sure.
they have a lot of roots in North Carolina. A lot of people from North Carolina growing up here from like before the '90s and everything are Redskins slash Commanders fans.
Yeah. And it's
So I
sick
mean,
to see
it's
them.
yeah. So we got a big fan base. I'll definitely be pulling for them. I'm pulling for the Bills. I'm pulling for the Commanders. Am I prepared to have the exact opposite outcome happen in both those games? Yes, I am. But it would be nice to see. I'm agreeing with Cody. Like a historic rookie season going down in the books by him leading his team to the Super Bowl. But yeah. So anyway, but see you guys next time. We're gonna be plugging some more socials here coming up soon. But again, fourth and average. Go ahead, Cody.
Yep. Stay average, y'all.
That's right.